Hey guys, I just wanted to give you guys a little short tutorial on my daily wear makeup. I don't like going super crazy. I actually like to keep things natural and embrace my skin, embrace my eyes, and just focus on what's natural and just accentuate those beautiful parts. You'll see that I'm just going to do a very basic eye, a tiny bit of, tinted primer and a lipstick. It's really easy and it lasts me all day. And I use it to work with every single day. So hope you guys enjoy. Thank you. Okay, so I've already started with my primer, all my moisturizers, my daily routine. I've got all of that on my face right now. And we're gonna start with a flat brush, kind of just a puffy, bigger brush, kind of like this. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, there we go. And I'm going to use this Wet n Wild palette. It's just really basic, super affordable, and very pretty. It's got some mattes and some sparkles in it. We're going to use the first color, the white one right here, and I'm just going to apply that on my entire lid, just to give me a nice base color, just to get rid of any veins, dark coloring, redness, because being a redhead, that's what you get. And then next, I'm going to take a fluffy brush. This one right here, you can probably see it. Yep, and it's nothing too crazy fluffy. And I'm going to still use the same palette, and I'm going to use this middle color right about there. So we don't want to use too much product. You can always add more product. And I'm going to come facing up, and I'm going to start just on the inner part of my lid. And I'm just going to do what they call a buffing technique. And when you buff, you're just going to do little teeny tiny circles around your eyelid. And I usually like going pretty far into the crease just because I do have a bigger eyelid. I'm going to buff, and I'm kind of buffing up just to give me that illusion of a upper eye instead of drooping the eyes. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then I like that this color is matte because it just gives you a little bit of that illusion of just brightness in the face. If you see that it's kind of scuffing, like right here in the inner corner, all you can do is just pat and just kind of bring that in a little bit more. So I'm just going to continue buffing. Buff, buff, buff. You'll notice that I kind of like to look back in the mirror a little bit farther to make sure everything's evening out, because sometimes your coloring is a little off when you're looking up close. You can see things a little bit clearer when you're farther away. Perfect. So now that I've done my crease, I've got just a nice little bit of color. I'm going to take a flat brush, and it's just a flat tip, and we're going to take just a little bit of this champagne almost color, and it has just a tiny bit of shimmer, and I'm going to apply that over the majority of my lid, but I'm not going up into the crease with it. And you're going to see that I like to pat this in because it tends to last the entire day better. Awesome. And then if you see any harsh lines, you can just keep buffing away and blending. Joys of blending. And once you've blended to the point where you like it, I'm going to just add a little bit of that champagne color that we just put on the entire lid underneath the eye. I'm going to buff that on just a little bit. Just to give a little bit of color under the eyes. And then for eyeliner, what I typically like to do on a daily basis is actually I use a powder rather than an actual eyeliner or liquid liner is just faster, easier, and a whole lot less of a hassle. And because I'm a redhead, I do typically like to use a dark brown instead of a black, unless I'm going for a little bit more bold of a look. And what I like doing is just patting that on like an eyeliner. And honestly, this palette is pretty great considering it's just a drugstore brand. It lasts me all day long, and I am not doing basic things at work. I'm sweating, I'm getting hot and sweaty, I'm running around, and it lasts me all day, which I think is awesome. So I like to focus more on this outer corner, and then I like to thin my eyeliner out more on the inner crease, just to give me more of that doe-eyed look. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I don't know if you noticed, I did do a little bit of an curvature. I don't even know what that word means. But I kind of just gave myself a little bit of a natural cat eye just because it's going to lift the eyes, give me a little bit more wide awake look. And I just think it gives me an overall more lively and adultish look because I do kind of look young without makeup on. I just make sure it's nice and blended. And then even with the other side. And then I like taking just a little bit of the same powder and applying it just to a tiny bit of the bottom of the lash line, because it'll give me more of that doe eye look that I'm going for on a daily basis. Now you're welcome to keep using eyeliner if you prefer it, but I just think using a powder is a little bit more subtle and just easier and all around more natural. So I typically like to do my mascara last because it's just how I do it. So I'm actually going to go to a concealer around the eyes, if I can find my concealer. And you can tell I use this one a lot. It's itty bitty. It's actually the CIA color by Urban Decay. It's a 24/7 wear, I guess. It's their lightest shade because I'm so fair. It does have a little bit of a yellowish hue to it for my skin, but that's perfect for concealing because it kind of masks that purpley undertone that you see under my eyes. So what's important about applying concealer is you don't want to apply like that, because once you blend that in, it's just going to make sure it's going to just highlight that puffiness under your eyes. So by bringing it down and making a triangle look, you're going to open your eyes up more. And it's okay that I already did that because I can just fix it. And then I've got this little pimple over here. I'm going to conceal that. I've got a little scar. And I like to take my beauty blender and I'm just going to pat. I typically like using a dampened beauty blender. It just tends to not absorb as much as my product, and it saves me money. And you just lightly dab. It's always hard in this inner corner without making your eye fall out. There we go. And I kind of bring it up a little bit right here just because I am so fair-skinned, and you can see those under eye lines. So if you see what I'm saying about that curvature, and it's bringing down the eyes instead of actually accentuating those deep puffs. Eyeballs go fall out. And then I'm going pat, pat, pat. All right. So now that we've applied the concealer, I typically on a daily basis wear Glow Tinted Primer and Moisturizer. It just tends to work better with my skin. It also has an SPF in it, which is really important so that we're not causing hyperpigmentation and early aging and all that nonsense. And I just apply a little bit to my beauty blender. And of course, this is the fairest shade because I'm the fairest of them all. And I like to start at the tip of the forehead, go on the nose, down the cheeks, boop, 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 and dab it all out. This just gives me a little bit of coverage so that, you know, I'm hiding a little bit of my freckles, but not entirely. And it does even out that red hue to my skin tone that I have. So I like to just use this on a daily basis, and not only is it giving me a little bit of coverage, it's also moisturizing my extremely dry skin. So I just recently started using the Beauty Blender, and I'm actually absolutely loving it because it, like patting and dabbing instead of using a brush and working those circular motions. We have all these vellus hairs on our skin, and when you're doing that circular motion, you're getting all this texture. So when you're using your Beauty Blender, you're actually just patting it down. So it's not really going to show any of that texture, and it's going to give you more of that airbrushed, flawless look that you are going for. All right, so that step's over, and you can already tell I'm looking a lot more glowy and happy and just a lot more fresh-faced and ready for the day. I'm really just gonna dress the brows. I don't need to draw on my brows. I don't really even need to touch them up most days. Sometimes I notice a gap that wasn't there before and I put a little bit of stuff on it, but I'm just gonna brush the brows just a tiny bit just to get them in place. And then I think, oopsie, some people brush theirs up, but if I do that, I look like a lion. And I usually use a gel, but I do not have that right now. And I will do the exact same thing. I would just gel them in place. All right, so I didn't go over this in the blog, but I also like to add a little bit of highlight during the day. It just gives me a little bit more of that chipper, I'm awake look. And I just recently got this Becca palette, and it is fabulous. And I'm just going to use the lightest, whitest shade of highlight, and I'm going to just do a little bit of strobing. So I'm going to take this brush right here, dab, 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 just a little bit. And if you've ever watched Facebook videos, you will know where I got the dab, dab, dab from. So I'm just going to put that a little bit on my cheekbone, go around the eyes just a tiny bit. And it's just going to give me a little bit more of a dewy, wide awake look. And then if you feel like you're a little too dewy and wide awake, you can blend it out and buff, buff, buff. Perfect. And then I personally use a mascara primer right before I apply my mascara because it just helps last the entire day. This one specifically has a blue hue to it that just really opens up any type of eye color, and it really just makes your eyes pop. You can also just wear this on its own if you want to rock that, you know, blue mascara. So I'm gonna just apply a little bit of that. Usually I curl my eyelashes, but I'm just gonna skip that step right now because I think I'll be okay. Oh, got my hair. Lovely. So I do have my eyelashes tinted because I am blonde. Well, not blonde, my eyelashes are red. So they're very fair and you can't really see them. So by tinting them, it also prevents me from having to put mascara on the bottom lashes, which is usually where you're gonna get your running from the mascara, and you're gonna get that look. So then I like to take my Revitalash mascara. It's black. I know I used a brown eyeliner, but I like my black mascara, so we're just going to apply that over top the primer. Voila, I have nice eyelashes. So last but not least, this is actually going to be the step that is going to give you probably the most noticeable change to your face. You just want to use lipstick. Unless you have beautiful rosy red lips naturally, sorry, lipstick kind of just puts your whole face together and makes you look pretty. So we're gonna just do a little bit of lipstick. And I just got this Clinique lipstick today, and I'm not sure how I feel about the color yet. It's just a nice neutral pink. And I like to kind of create my lips because I don't have lips. I feel like this lipstick color is a little bit more summery than what I would probably wear in December, which that's totally okay. It does not look bad. It just gives me a little bit more color to my face and brings the whole makeup look together. You can either blot your lipstick or you can just leave it just like that. I personally like to blot. It just takes the edge off. All right, so that is the makeup look. Very simple. This is what I do wear to work pretty much every day. I don't like spending hours on my makeup in the morning, even though I am a professional makeup artist and that's what I do for a living. I just don't feel like it's necessary every day, but it is fun. So if you like this video, just go ahead and subscribe, and I'll be definitely posting a lot more. And thank you for watching.